of the day in 12th place. 4 games, I should say, for 1 win and 3 losses. The Knights, for their part, 4 wins and 1 loss from their 5 games. They have the chance to go top of the table tonight. Matthew Hunter has the ball on the tee, and we are ready to go. The Knights hunting top spot at the end of round 6 in the Cup, and they kick it off high. And Solomone Sakuru is underneath it. The Magpies, as you would expect, in the black and white. The Knights in the red and blue, running left to right. And the Magpies bringing it out with Bunty Afoa. The bye in round 1 for the Maggies. Since then, 26-16, they went down to Norths. 20-12, they went down against Souths. 29-28 against the Warriors. And then their first win last week, 30-24 over Parramatta. As Charlie Murray takes it down the centre. And the hand is in the air for last. All pretty neat and tidy, and in fact it's going to be even neater. They've got 6 more tackles. Here is Bunty Afoa again. Rinse and repeat. They start a new set. The man in the 18 is Tristan Hope. Late inclusion into the side. If you're wondering why they've put this game on after the NRL, as Murray shifts it, and they go across now to Andrews. Andrews on the grass. Hunter finishes him off. Now Afoa. They've put this game on so that players who are on the extended bench for the NRL can get a run. Tristan Hope in for the Maggies. Tyson Gamble for the Knights. Out the back they go. And Stefanovic is dealt with. And that is last tackle. Hope works it. Andrews to the sky. Job here for Aoke. In fact, it's to Carmore, and the ball's come out the back. Maggies get it back. Still they wrestle to get it down, which they can't do. Held up, but 6 more tackles again. 2 minutes in. Knights haven't had the footy. Hope, Stefanovic, and Gaia. One of the new signings for this year for the Magpies. They're in prime real estate here. Hope hurls across. Stefanovic drifts. Then he swings it over the top. Back inside they work. Siale Faianga. He is really close, but he is on the grass. Couple of inches short. Still the Magpies press. Stefanovic again. Now this is Attard slippery in the centre. Hope at dummy half. They're deep to the left, and that's the way they go. Stefanovic short into the line. And Brodolo is hauled down. Hope schemes again. He had to juggle. Then he gave it to Murray, who backs towards them and dumps. It's Hope again. Off the boot. Sideways more than forwards. It's a peach of a kick. It is a beauty. Siale Faianga over in the corner. The Magpies have scored before the Knights have touched the footy. 4 points to 0 in 3 minutes. The Knights will have to chase. They have had it all their own way in the first 3 minutes. Hit it up to halfway. Got 6 again. Put it into the sky. Got the ball back. And a few plays later scored in the corner. Hard to start a game much better than that. Western Suburbs, who have looked better than their results have suggested. They've pushed all the way. They were 16 each with the Bears in round 2 with 15 to go and just fell away late. Made a late rally against Souths a bit too late. And again fell away against the Warriors. They've been in their games until the very last stages, but finished on the wrong side of a couple of close ones. They got a win last week, and they've started very brightly indeed here. How about the kick? Andrews only hit 3 from 6 last week. And he's got 0 from 1 to start tonight. But they will be happy enough. The Magpies 4, the Knights 0. 4.5 gone on Bar TV. Morgan Campbell with you. Where in the world would you rather be than Campbelltown on a Sunday night for the last game of the round in the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup? Gamble kicks off, and the Magpies will look to do the same again when they begin it the same way. Bunty Afoa. On they come with Toa against familiar opponents. Played 20 NRL games for the Knights. 2019 to 2021, scored 11 tries. He's now played 62 for the Tigers. He didn't get a game in the New South Wales Cup last year. He's here tonight, though, as Gaia down the middle. And Hope picks it up and goes. Gives it to Murray. Across halfway again. 5.5 in. The Knights haven't had a tackle. Maybe now. Andrews launches it. Touchline's in play here. It's out on the full. Wasn't just the touchline in play. The red line was in play as well. And Javon Andrews cleared the lot of them. So the Knights will get the footy at long last. And they'll get it in decent position. They get a bonus few metres as McCarthy crosses halfway and then gets dragged back. That was Crouch through the hands, the former Shark. Former Jet in this competition. Gamble, then Hunter, skipping and drifting and stepping and poking his head through. He is a lethal runner of the footy. Here's Crouch again. Straight and hard from him. That is the 20. The Knights with their first look. Gamble took it a few steps, then found Hunter. Out the back they work. It's on here. It is on the left. It's Marcus DeAker. Gets across in the corner. First use of the ball. And they carve the Magpies apart. And if this first couple of minutes is anything to go by, we might see some points here tonight, folks. Magpies go down and score. Knights get the footy. Go down and return the favour. 7 minutes gone in the cup. It's 4 each. Marcus DeAker. The man who scored it. Turning up on the wing. And they will line up the kick. As they do, I can tell you that Club Rugby League is back for 2026. I was going to say 2025. Well, if you were hoping to play in 2025, you've left your run too late. But 2026, it's back. Get back to playing unreal footy with real mates with club, tackle or tag options available. There is something for everyone, so head to playrugbyleague.com to sign up. Now then. A kick from inches in from touch. On its way. High and dropping short. No goal. 4 each it remains. We've had 8.5 minutes on Bar TV, home of the New South Wales Cup and the whole of the New South Wales Rugby League in 2026. You can see it all here. We're coming to the last week's win over the Raiders. Found himself on the bench for Tyson Gamble. But he's out there now. He's come on for Matt Hunter. And he's playing halfback and shifting the ball. And away go the Knights with Kapua. Roaming on that left edge. This is Crouch. 2 halfway, but not much further. And that is last tackle. Gamble, belly of the ball. It's ended up end over end, and Attard had to go, and Attard had to be good, and he was. Took it very, very low. Now Siale Fainga'a. Bit of a chopped around backline for the Knights tonight. Sitani Takomo named in the 5, but playing fullback. Here's a man with a bit of experience playing fullback, Heath Mason. He's wearing the 4 and playing centre. Gaia. Last tackle. In the 11th minute. Stefanovic launches it. Got a real heap underneath that, and Takamo's good enough to go and get it. And brings it back at Andrews, who drops him with a bit of help. The Knights with only one loss, Raiders, and they bounced back within the game. Went up 10-0 early. Found themselves 24-10 down at half-time. They let in 4 tries in 13 minutes. Stormed back in the second half. A late try to Schiller to square it. And then a field goal from Henderson to win it. And they work it left here to Carmore through the dummy. And he's on the deck. On last tackle. Gamble. Sends it again. It's not particularly contestable. It's down there for Saukuru. And Saukuru's on his back. We'll keep an eye out for Matt Hunter. Try and work out what happened there. But for the moment, it is a Henderson-Gamble halves pairing for the Knights. And the Magpies have got 6 more, which worked all right for them last time. Here's Afua. There is a decent smattering in the grandstand here at Campbelltown who've hung around after the NRL as Stefanovic slips the short ball. Gaia is up quickly. Andrews for Hope. For Mason, I should say. Mason bobbing and weaving. He's on the ground. Little bit of mo here for the Magpies. Murray out the back. Then Stefanovic. And they are on the deck. Stefanovic again. Gets it up high. Knights good enough. Knights are good enough. Schiller. And they've got them pinned here. Knights want a penalty which they're not going to get. McCarthy comes in for a run. Jacob Davis gave it out. And down the middle goes Holler. He took some felling. Davis keeps it moving. Gamble spears the kick in. The touchline will beat it. Spares Attard and Saukuru a bit of work. And the Maggies can bring it into the centre. And there is Siale Fainga'a. Bash away here with Toa. Wriggles and fights. They've basically got him by the head. They haul him back. Swung across the other way now. Bodies in motion for the Magpies. Andrews keeps it moving only as far as Mason. And Mason's dragged back. The offload didn't yield a dividend there. Saukuru flings it for Murray. Towards halfway he goes. And now down the blind, Andrews. Short ball, Barodalo. They're not having any trouble getting into Newcastle territory here, the Magpies. On last, it's Stefanovic. Again, they've got to watch the touchline here, and they've got to watch each other. Schiller and Takamo could have got in horrible trouble there. Got away with it just about as Schiller comes in field. Two sides who are in the middle of a long wait for the finals. The Knights' wait for a penalty is over. They've got the Magpies offside. Wests, for their part, last made the finals in 2018. They finished 5th and went out in week 1. The Knights last made the finals in 2017. But a win here not only would put them top of the table, they've got all 4 of their buys still to come. Dummy half is the captain, Salesa Leomoana, and he burrows for a dozen metres. That is the 40. And they are fanned out deep to the left. Crouch, Henderson, Gamble took it a long way. Took it all the way into the defence. Davis, they've got 6 more. Hopwood, he's got to go back. There's bodies on the deck everywhere. Hopwood submits. They are flat to the left and deep to the right. They go to Gamble, then to Holler. Tractor steps for a couple of extra metres. Davis for Gamble again. Gave it flat, Salesa Leomoana. Magpies get numbers there. But the Knights are building. Gamble drifting and stopping. It all came a cropper. They shifted anyway. Now it's Manu Leilua. Always a threat. Flings it out for Henderson. Now Kapoa. Working back to the centre. Propping and stepping and going. Landing in front of the posts. Still the Knights' work. Flat ball. Holler. Backing and backing. Still wrestling. Hurls the ball out. Knights keep it moving. Chance here, McCarthy. McCarthy is across. McCarthy is across. There are late offloads, and there is that. And it has yielded the Knights' second try. McCarthy scores in the New South Wales Cup today as Andrews gets us going again. And Henderson catches. And back come the Knights. Here is Hopwood. Snapping back towards the centre. Davis wanted it quick. And he takes a scurry towards Bunty, which is brave stuff indeed. Tokamo and Henderson and Kapoa. Top try scorer in the whole competition last year, Asu Kapoa. As a winger for Penrith. Lobs up at Newcastle playing in the second row. They've got 6 more. In fact, that was Manu Leilua. Kapoa playing at left centre just at the moment. They have reshuffled this team. Gamble takes it in. Then to Carmore. Numbers here. Schiller in space with a heap of speed. Cuts back inside. Hope is good enough to halt his progress. He gets the help of 3 more. You'd reckon they're short to the left. That's the way they go. Gamble holding it out and giving it flat and not getting it back like he might have envisioned. But the Knights working Wests over again. Short ball, crash ball, Hopwood. Hopwood is over. Couldn't stop him going that hard. The Knights have crossed again. And having gone to both wings, this time they just barge it through the middle. Cody Hopwood scores. It's the Knights 12 points to 4. And what's more, Henderson's got a much easier goal kick than anybody's had so far today. So the Knights will feel pretty good about going up by 10 here. 19 left in this first half. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are watching. While Henderson lines this up, let me tell you about the round so far in the Cup. Friday night, Penrith 42, Canterbury Bankstown 10 at Belmore. Then yesterday, big round of games. St George Illawarra 52, Manly 12 down in Wollongong at Collegians. The Storm 32, the Warriors 24 down in Melbourne. And an absolute belter at Henson Park. Newtown 33, the Sydney Roosters 32. As here's the kick from Henderson. He's got the flags up this time. The touchies finally called into action. 18 to go in the first half. Knights 14, Magpies 4. Now the scores from earlier today. At North Sydney Oval, the Bears have had a win which they will absolutely cherish. 40 points to 24 over the Raiders, who have been pretty luckless so far in the Cup so far. Meanwhile at Kellyville, half an hour to go there, and the Bunnies putting the Eels to the sword. 32-12 there in that game, which is still going on as there's nearly another collision between Knights under a high ball. Rabbitohs 32, Eels 12 at Kellyville. 29 minutes to go there, which leaves only this as the last game of the round. Hopwood out the back for Gamble. They'll look for Schiller again here. They're starting to have some joy on that right-hand side. James Schiller's got 6 tries in 4 games this year. He's second in the comp for tries. And with Tyson Gamble throwing those cutout passes, he may feel there's more out there for him. Davis, Gamble, inside the 40, and he knows it, but didn't get the angle he wanted. Attard read it and was there. And Attard runs into them. Bit of vigour about all of that. Now Sakuru. He's got 4 tries in 4 games himself, including a double last week. He's the top try scorer for the Maggies. So it's a good matchup on this near side wing. Here's Bunty. Davis just went low and clung on. Geyer doesn't mind the pass out the back, but he just charges down the centre, takes a few metres and then flings it. They want 6 more. They've got a second phase with Murray. That's the 20. Magpies need to strike back here. Hope and Stefanovic, and still with Andrews, and his opposite number came up.